All right, so welcome everybody to our first reveal special 6-step webinar to Awesomeness, where I want you to be able to unapologetically kick ass and run your business and just be really successful in whatever that means for you. So this is our week 1, which I'm really, really excited about. So what I want to do is just tell you a little bit about who I am and sort of what it is that you're going to get out of this next 8 weeks, because we're going to become BFF over the next 2 months. So hopefully that's okay with you. So my name is Kata. My name is Katarina Sir. I have been doing this for quite some time, just unofficially. And I guess my entire journey started when I was 21. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I was actually put in a position where I wasn't able to turn up to my full-time job anymore. I used to work in recruitment in the public service. I was an executive assistant, and I was pursuing my career in HR. I was also a dance teacher, so I used to teach kids dancing. I was a hip-hop teacher, and I did that for about 10 years. And that was sort of my life. But when Dad was sick, that forced me to look at other options. And I found myself face-to-face with a network marketing company, which I don't know what your background is, but I was like super skeptical, and I just went, oh my God, no. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people doing one of those little lipstick things. And I was just really negative about it. But, you know, when you're at the position where you have to make money, and that's probably why part of you guys are here, because you just want more freaking money, but you don't know how to get it because you're exhausted, you are busy, you have pretty much no support around you, and you just don't know where to go next. This is where I was at when I got into this network marketing business. And when I started it, I was given the coaching, I was given the support, I was given everything. It was wonderful. But what I was finding was I was not relating to my coaches. I was not relating to my sponsors, my uplines, my mentors. They just didn't get me. And it pissed me off, because when you join any kind of business, you are promised this support. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, this is not fair. This is bullshit. But you have like a decision, right? You can either complain and whinge about it, or you can do something about it. And I went, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to go find the help. So I hired coaches. I hired mentors. I did personal development. I've spent thousands of dollars on my own personal growth. I have libraries full of books. I listened to audiobooks. I built myself up, and I surrounded myself with people that I wanted to be more like, and people that inspired me. I followed people on Instagram. Like, I just tried to fill my brain with people that I wanted to be like. And it was freaking hard. Like, seriously, it is hard doing this alone. And that is why I just admire the shit out of you for being here, because I know that feeling when all you want to do is succeed and it feels like no one is there to help you. That's where I was at. And I remember so clearly, after having all these discussions with, you know, my coaches and people around me, and they're giving me advice, and I was just like, it's just, I love you, bless you, but it's just not freaking working for me. I'm not a mom. I don't have kids. I'm not going to join the 5 a.m. club. Sorry, Robin Sharma. It's just not for me. I was like, well, what do I like? Who am I? I was like, well, firstly, I enjoy sleep. Well, I don't get out of bed before 10 o'clock because I don't really want to. And I was like, I'm 25 now. I have this awesome lifestyle. Why are you people telling me to get out of bed so early when I just frankly don't really want to do that? I love to drink wine. Like, I found myself, whenever I was doing anything that I was enjoying, I was in a social environment. And here I was trying to force myself into this very business person. You know, I was being told to, you know, run my business at certain times that just didn't work for me. And frankly, what happened is I just had enough. I just had enough. And I went, I cannot be you. And this is where all of this started, because what I started doing was being unapologetically me. I started promoting the fact that I don't get out of bed before 10. I started promoting the fact that it's okay to be you in this business. I started promoting the fact that, yeah, I enjoy living a life where I do travel between New York, Miami, Las Vegas, Australia, you know, Europe for fun. I didn't have to justify it anymore, because I went, well, this is what is important to me. And what happened was amazing. When I moved my life to New York and everyone was like, well, you can't do that. And I was like, well, you can, because I did. So watch me. What happened was my business exploded. I literally had people coming to me being like, I had no idea it was possible until you did it. I've been following you on Facebook. I've been stalking you. And I cannot believe that you can actually have the life you have. And by no means do I think I'm successful yet. I don't feel like I've gotten where I want to go yet. But what I'm doing unapologetically. And what was starting to happen is all of these people outside of my personal business, outside of my company, were reaching out to me for help. My Facebook inbox is just like manic with people asking for help. They, want to know, how they can progress their business. Why isn't they moving? They tell me similar stories. They don't have supportive uplines. They don't feel connected. Then the uplines are contacting me being like, well, how do I motivate my team? I've sent them all these emails and they're not replying. Like all of these questions, I just went, you know what? I have to do something about this. And this is where Kata, the brand, was born. And what this has progressed into very quickly has snowballed into this brand of like badasses who want to do something with your lives. So welcome to the club, kids, because you are here because you're not willing to just give up. So I admire the lady balls you have, and I'm so freaking excited to be able to work with you for the next 2 months and hopefully longer. And, I think if I can help you succeed, then you can help others. And I think when you do that, firstly, you're going to be successful. And I do measure a lot of success by monetary value because I do believe that the more money you have, the more choices you have, and the more freedom and the more opportunities. But at the same time, success for me is being happy. And I want you to be happy. And I want you to feel successful. And I want you to see that success. So this is not just going to be about making money. It's not just going to be about all the fluffy, happy stuff. It's going to be about both because that's what I believe success is about. So with all that said, are you ready? Yeah. Alrighty. So welcome to the Reveal Special 6 Steps to Awesomeness. This is the first time we've been launching this program. This has been so much requested, and everything that I've built into this program has been because you guys have been asking for it. Like, I love you and we're all individuals, but we all need the same shit. Like, we all want to know the same stuff. And so that's why I wanted to do this, so you can take it away, and I want you to feel confident. I want you to legitimately go and kick ass, and I'm telling you, you're going to piss some people off along the way because I'm going to teach you how to not care about that. We're going to work on judgment. We're going to work on so many things. But what I want you to do and what you're going to walk away with is you're going to feel clear and you're going to feel like relaxed. Wouldn't that be nice? Just to feel good about what you're doing and know exactly what you're doing. I want you to dominate your business. I want you to dominate your life. I want you to tap into the Gen Y market. I'm going to teach you how to do that, whether you are a Gen Y or you're working with Gen Ys. If you want to be making money, you need to involve us in your business and your life because we're a powerhouse to be reckoned with, and you probably know that already. And I want you to be able to gain more support from people around you because I think the hardest thing for us as women, especially younger women, is the people around us. Don't you reckon? It's when you're so excited to do something or you're working your ass off and your friends, your family, your support network just like don't give a shit. And it's really annoying, isn't it? And it really hurts. And it's a huge roadblock for us because we care. That's who we are. We care. And I'm not going to deny that. But what I am going to teach you is how to move through those obstacles and how to actually clear that energy as well. And ultimately what this is going to do is make your empire boom. And I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. You are going to see some immediate results, but what you need to do is use these skills and these tools and put them into your life, and we're going to teach you how to do that, but actually use it in your life consistently. Because for me, when I first made this decision, and it is a decision that you guys are making right now to commit to this, when I made that decision, nothing happened. In fact, I felt really freaking lonely for a really long time, and I felt like I was standing there doing all this wonderful stuff, but there was nothing happening. And I remember feeling sick to my stomach going, oh my God, I've spent all this money on coaching. I've spent all this time, developing myself and freaking nothing's happening. But I'm telling you, just wait. Just be patient and keep going, and because it's going to take some time, but it is worth it. So, you ready for our rundown of what we're doing? How to be a badass. This is stuff that, again, you guys have asked for, and this is how I run my business, run my life, and it's working. Saying that, you're all individuals. And our first lesson today, what we're going to be working through today, is who are you? Really though, who are you? It's about getting unapologetic, and we're doing this today, and digging deep to find your brand, digging deep to find what it is that people want from you, to find out, ultimately, I think a successful business is you being you, authentically you, which, oh my God, it takes so much pressure off, by the way, but it's people buying into that. And it is a skill. It's a skill of actually how to market yourself and how to figure out who you are and how to get really comfortable with that. Because when you're feeling good about yourself, that's when people draw to you. So that's what we're going to go through today, and that's what you're going to feel really great about. By the end of today, I really want you to go, you know what? Fucking rule. Like, I'm amazing, and I'm going to make some freaking money off this because you deserve it. You should be paid for being you. Number 2, next week, we're going to go over how to cut the shit. And that is about removing leftover negative messages from your subconscious and how to deal with those judgy-wudgy bears all around you. So let's just not care about the judgment anymore. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Week 3 is the fun one because it's all about what's my hashtag image. Social media. I'm going to teach you how to use social media properly. The do's, the don'ts. I'm definitely going to share some stories with you. And I'm going to teach you how I actually use social media to make money, right? Then we're going to have a 2-week break. And what that's going to mean is I'm going to give you time and activities to actually put this stuff into action. Because it's all well and good learning stuff and turning up, but if you're not doing anything, it's not really going to work for you. So I'm actually forcing you to do stuff, which you'll love me for later. After that, we're going to get back together, and for our week 4, which will really be week 6, it's called So Funny Story. And what this is going to be all about is all of us getting together to actually share what's happened over the last 3-5 weeks. So what's happened, what changes, what have you learned, what's working, what's not. I'm going to tell some stories, some probably pretty real, rough, raw stories that I don't usually share, but I think, because we're being in this honest space, I want to tell you, some of these things that have happened to me so you can learn from them. Number 5 is going to be wine, not wine. And we all know that I probably drink a bottle of wine a week, and let's be honest, it helps my business grow and it keeps my nerves calm, and that's okay. I'm here to say that's okay. And it's going to be all about your mindset, how to actually develop the badass mindset. And it is a skill. It really is. And the stronger you get, the more people are going to draw to you, and the easier it is for you to run your business. So I'm going to teach you how I use wine to grow my brand. And number 6, it's not the sexiest subject in the world, but it's scheduling. And it's something that so many of us miss because we have all these wonderful ideas and we have all these wonderful skills, but we have no freaking idea where to fit them in your life. And if you have kids, I know half the time you have to bounce a child on your lap while you're doing business presentations, and you're trying to drink wine and be on the phone and have a business call and drive kids to school. I know that stuff is a very real thing. And if you don't have kids, if you're like me, it's balancing who am I? Am I 20-something? Do I want to travel or make money? Do I want to eat today or run my business? There are life decisions to be made too. So I'm going to teach you how to schedule this business into your life. So with that, let's get unapologetic and find out who the hell you are, because it's about time. Now, I'm a very simple person, and I like little pictures and images and simplicity, so I hope that's okay with you. If you have your notebook, grab that. You are going to be writing stuff down. I am going to be asking you to do things. I want to start to ask you some questions, and today is really about self-discovery. So I want you to not think about anyone else. I want you to not think about anything else that you've gone through previous. I just want you to think about you right here, right now, and just be really honest with yourself. The reason why we need to go into and actually claim who you are, which might seem a bit funny because, you're always going to say, well, I'm me, obviously. Well, who is that person? Because until you define that, everything in your life is going to be fuzzy. And this took a really long time for me. This took a really long time for me, not just to figure out who I am, but actually to be okay with that, because it's funny, and you'll see what happens. As soon as you actually openly claim who you are and become unapologetic, all of a sudden these people around you seem to get really pissed off. And some people are going to move away from you. Some people are not going to like you for who you choose to be. And a whole bunch of new people are going to draw into your life. So today, what you do today is going to cause a massive ripple effect. So just be okay with that. But know that you are your business and you are your life. And you are the CEO of everything that you do. And you are the one that represents your brand. And it's funny because so many of us, I think, like to lean on other things and like lean on other people and make excuses about stuff and be like, well, no, it's the company, or no, it's the product, or no, it's my upline, or no, it's my husband, or no, it's my boyfriend, or, you know, it's my kids. And we use all these other people to almost pad ourselves with who we are and what we're doing, and we use them as an excuse. But here's the thing. You're actually so much more in control. You actually get so much more shit done when you take responsibility for it, because it actually becomes kind of fun. And when you realize that you are your business, all of a sudden you gain back all the control. So if you've been running a business, or if you're running your life and you're feeling very out of control, it's because you've forgotten that you're actually the boss. So real quick, you're the boss of your company. If you fired yourself a little while ago, hire yourself back today. We're starting again, okay? So you are the boss of your company. You are your business. You're all right with that? Go. Here's the next tip. People only do business with people they like and trust. So why do you need to know who you are? Because you need to know who you want to do business with. You're actually in control of the people that you bring into your environment. You're in control of the people you bring into your team, your business, your life, your relationships. But they're all a reflection of you. Now, if you have no one around you, I'm here to be a little bit in your face, and I say this with absolute love. It's because people don't like you. And they either don't like you because they don't trust you. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Or because you're repelling them with a different energy. Now, it's okay for some people to don't like you. If you look at someone, you're like, she's a bitch, she doesn't like me, great, we don't want them in your life anyway, that's fine. But if there are people that you wish you were connecting with, that it's just not working, they're repelled from your life, they're not coming into your life, you're not able to have the conversations, they just don't seem to connect with you, it's because they don't like you or they don't trust you. And a major reason for that is what I call my little alien. So, have you ever gone to talk to somebody and they're saying this, but you're feeling there's something else going on? And you're like, well, what do they want from me? And you automatically don't trust them. Or when someone has a conversation with you and you're like, I know you're full of shit. This is what's happened. They're saying one thing, but they're actually thinking something else. And sometimes this is a genuine lie. Sometimes they really are wanting to deceive you. But a lot of the time, this is simply that these two things are not connecting. So what they're feeling is one thing and what they're saying is another. And because of that, automatically, psychologically speaking, in our brain, we read that as mistrust. And when you don't trust someone, firstly, you stop listening to them. But secondly, you put up a barrier straight away. And I'm sure you guys have all done that with people. And they've had a conversation with you and you just don't want to be involved in the conversation because you don't like them and you don't trust them because you feel that there's something off, right? Like, have you ever had that like weird feeling and you're just like, ooh, just something's not right. And that poor person might have been genuine, but they're just nervous, but then still the little alien doesn't match. Or maybe they're trying to get something out, but they don't know how to communicate properly, so the alien doesn't match. But either way, you ended up not trusting them or not liking them. This is what happens when other people deal with us. And it's so funny because so many times, especially if you are in a network marketing business or you are trying to get people on board or you are trying to convince people or get, in some capacity, we do have genuine intentions. But what happens when we start talking is we start to freak out about what we're saying. And, you know, you say, I have this great business and I'm really successful. And you're thinking, fuck, I'm not successful. I really hope they think I'm successful. And what happens is this alien comes out and they're like, well, there's something happening here. They're lying to me, so I don't like them, so I'm not going to trust them, so I'm not going to go near them. But you might have had really genuine intentions. People only do business with people they like and trust. And a massive part of that is you knowing who you are and you speaking with certainty. Because when you speak with certainty, doesn't matter what you're saying, these two things line up. And when they line up, people will trust you. And if they don't like you, it's only because you're authentic and you're genuine and they have an insecurity, but they're still going to follow you. So the first step is realizing why you need to understand who you are. And it's because of how we make other people feel. So my next point is that happy people attract other happy people. And if you're wanting to build a business, if you're wanting to build anything in life, you need to add more people. You need more buy-in. But you need to have a look at who you're attracting, because the people in your life are a reflection of who you are. And it's funny, I remember when I started my business, I got you to write down a list of, write down everyone you know, and then write down who you're gonna, talk to and who you're gonna connect with. And it made you look around at who's in your life. And I realized that the people who were around me were not particularly supportive. And I went, oh fuck, that's a reflection of me. What kind of person have I been in my life if these are the people that are the closest to me? And it's so true. Happy people attract other happy people, and we're all mirrors of the people in our lives, and the people in our lives are mirrors of who we are. So if we want better people in our lives, we have to become that first. And I'm telling you what, that's hard. It's a lot easier to sort of blame other people, isn't it? I've done it. I'm like, oh, she's just a bitch. And I'm like, maybe I'm a little bit of a bitch too. So if you're wanting to attract these people into your life, you've got to become it first. And again, to do that, to become happy, you have to be happy with who you are. I know it's so cliche. And I know everyone's like, just be happy. And there's 1,000 Instagram posts about it. But when you really figure out who you are, that is what gives you the power to not care about other people. And that is what gives you the power to actually inspire other people. And if you want people in your life, you need to be that happy, positive, inspirational person, because people only want to be around someone they want to be like. And we have to start with ourselves.
What?
So as women, we're very intuitive, aren't we? We can smell bullshit a mile away. And so can other people. So if you're trying to fake it, if you're looking up to your leader or your coach and you're trying to be them, or you're trying to be someone you're not, or you're just not being real with yourself, if you're every day, if you are constantly stressed and tired and struggling, I'm telling you, you're not being yourself, because being yourself is effortless. And you need to look at who that effortless person is. When is it that you're most happy? When is it that you are most relaxed? Because that's going to give you clues about who it is that you are. But if you're trying to act as if, then it's going to turn people off. It comes back to that mirror. It comes back to that little alien, is people can smell the bullshit. So you can't do that. You need to understand that people can smell it. If you can smell it, they can smell it too. So what's unapologetic? What the fuck is unapologetic? What is it? What does it mean to be unapologetic? What I want you to do is really own who you are. And what unapologetic means is that you actually like you. And again, I'm going to be real with you. It is hard because so many of us are surrounded by these people, and we've built these comfort zones. We've built these friendships and relationships on legacy. And we've had so many people around our lives for so long. We're following this path, and you're not you. Like somewhere along the line, you just lose who you are. And I remember feeling like that when I joined the corporate world. And before that, I was in HR. I was, a dance teacher. I had this wonderful little lifestyle. And then I joined the corporate world, and all of a sudden, it was not okay to be me. And I would go to work and I'd get dressed up. I love wearing bright colors, and I'd wear lipstick and I'd wear high heels, and I'd feel great about myself. And I'm not kidding. People thought I was sleeping with the boss because I got promoted. And they said, well, you dress like that, and obviously you're flirting with the boss, and that's why you got your promotion. And I was like, oh my God, you people are insane. They're not letting me be me. And I stopped wearing high heels. I started wearing black. I started wearing pants instead of skirts. I started not caring about my hair and makeup, and I lost myself. And maybe that happened to you at some stage. I know so many women lose themselves when they have their babies and their families, and they stop being who they were, and they stop being unapologetic, and they feel the need to change because other people tell them to. Where have you changed? Where did you lose yourself? Where was it that a part of you, it might have been a little part of you, you gave up on? Because that's what we need to get back. And it changes too. Don't feel the need you have to be someone who you used to be. You be you who you are right now. So what do you want? What is it that you really want? This is where I want you to actually write this down. What do I want? And I'm going to give you 5 minutes right now. I'm going to set my timer. And I just want you to write on that page, what do I want? And then I want you to start writing. I don't want you to put too much thought into it. It doesn't have to be in any particular format. I just want you to really connect with what's in your heart space. And if you're finding it difficult, I want you to place your hand on your heart, breathe in, breathe out, and you can say it out loud. Or you can say it to yourself, go, what do I want? And then write. And whatever comes out, you might surprise yourself, but I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And if you're stuck, keep breathing and just write whatever is in your brain. It might be a random word. It might be a picture. I just want you to write. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. What do I want? Go. While you're writing, write everything down that comes, whether it's feelings, whether it's stuff, whether it's experiences, whether it's change, whether it's growth, any words. And if something comes to you more than once, write it down more than once. You have it at 2.5 minutes. Keep going. Dig deep. If you're stuck, Hand on heart, breathe, keep writing. Fill that page. You've got just over a minute left. $30. Put any last ones that you don't want to put on there, put it down. I know there's stuff you're thinking about. You're like, I don't really want to write that down. Do it. Trust me on this. And we're done. So I want you to grab that page and really look at it. Did you surprise yourself? Is there stuff on there that you maybe didn't know you wanted? Or maybe you want a ton of stuff and you're like, oh my God, I have none of this. Nah. How does it make you feel looking at it? And more importantly, what's stopping you from getting there? The stuff that you want is there in you because it's what's going to make you happy. It's okay to want everything you want. And a part of being unapologetic is really claiming that, saying, this is what I want. So for me, I'm 25 now, I just turned 25 in April, and I have declared that I will be a self-made millionaire by the time I'm 30. That's what I want. And you bet people look at me and have all sorts of opinions about that notion. The fact that I enjoy, my business, and I love working hard, and I love travel, and I love wearing heels, and, I do go on dates with guys just for the funsies of it and then not call them back ever again. Like, it's who I am. And so many people have a problem with that, but it doesn't matter because it's not their life, it's me. It's my life. I might have a problem with their life, but why would I care about it? So whatever's on your page, that is who you are or who you want to become. So what I want you to do is I want you to really look at it. What kind of stuff is on there? Is it all material possessions? Is it all experiences? What is it that you want in your life that you're not giving yourself right now? Is it feelings? What's the common link? There's going to be some stuff that jumps out for you, and there's going to be a lot of things that are actually all in common. So have a look over that. What is in common? If you want to highlight whatever, if you want to write a keyword, do that. But I want you to really pick out what the essence of what it is that you want is. What I also want you to go back and do is have a look at how much of that stuff you want and how much of that stuff other people want for you. Did you write you want this because your family wants that? Or do you really want that? Did you write something because you feel obliged to write that? Or do you really want it? Is there something that you are thinking about and it's probably still niggling you that you haven't written down because you feel bad about wanting it? Is there something you've written down that actually makes you feel guilty? That you don't really want it, but you kind of do? Analyze that page. That's your heart space coming out. What do you really want? And own it. Own it. If you want, you can type this up and say, I have this. I deserve this. I will have this. I am this. Declare everything on that page, because if it's there for a reason. And here's the thing, you can't feel guilty about it. I can't feel guilty about my big dreams and goals because not everyone has that big dream and goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of us think that if we want something, we should feel guilty because there's other people in the world. Well, yeah, but they don't all want the same things. And we're not all the same people. I need you to declare what it is you want, because you're going to give this world something that I can't. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're an early morning riser, please do that, because I ain't going to be the person to do that for you. I'm telling you. Declare what you want and really own that, because when you start to do the things and have the things and be, the person that you want to be on that piece of paper, that's what's going to make you happy. When you're happy, you attract other happy people. When you're happy, you're owning who you are. And when you're owning who you are, people trust you. And when people trust you and you're happy and they like you, they come to you. And when there are people around you, you have the option to grow and to succeed in business and in life. But it all comes way back to what you just did, which is declaring what it is you want. And those things that you want, it could be, I want to exercise more. Do it. Do that. Because when you're happy, stuff is going to start to happen around you. Don't put your stuff as last priority. Don't say, oh, I want to have the mortgage paid off and I also want to sleep, but I'm not going to sleep first because I need to have the mortgage paid off. Well, you need to sleep and be happy to actually achieve the other things. So what I'd like you to do is have a look at this paper, and I want you to pick the one thing that you can do or that you can own or claim or declare that's going to start to link to the rest of them. So let's nut it back. What is the one thing on that piece of paper that you can have, do, be, own, claim, declare today that's going to start the wheels for everything else to fall into place? Because there will be one thing. So let's take a second. I'm going to give you like a minute to have a look through that and really pick out what the one most important thing is for you to declare, own, do, or have. Go. Okay, so that one thing is what you're going to focus on. Don't overwhelm. You have who you are on a page. You have looked at what the common factors are. You've looked at what you want and what you don't have yet. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit scared. I need you to be looking at that page going, oh shit, is she going to actually make me do all this now? And what happens if I actually get this? It's kind of freaking scary. Good, this is good. That's you looking at your authentic self. Now, what the next step is figuring out how we're going to get there. And it's all well and good going, this is who I am, woo! And then you're like, well, fuck, I don't really know how to change because life's hard and stuff's busy and I'm just going to make 1,000 excuses right now to not do anything and just stay where I am, because that's just fun like that. We're staying in our little comfort zone here. But what I want to do is take you out of your comfort zone into your courage zone. So think of it like 3 bubbles. You've got your comfort zone, where most of us sit, nothing really happens there, but that's fine. That's just where life rolls a lot of the time. Then outside of that, we have our courage zone. Your courage zone is where you are authentically you. You're challenged. You're probably a little bit nervous, but you're not nervous enough to go to the 3rd bubble, which is your terror zone. Your terror zone is where nothing happens either, because you are so freaked out that you freeze, you pause, or you run away. So we want you to be in your courage zone at all times, and we want you to be authentically you. Imagine there is two sides of you. You can do it back to front, you can do it side to side, whatever it is, but there's two sides of you. There's authentic you, and then there's false you. So you can think of it as your true self and your false self, and they both live in the same building, right? Your true self is who you've put on that page. Your false self is a person that's looking at the page going, this is bullshit. I'm not going to be able to do this. There's a reason I don't have all of this stuff, lady. Like, stop it. And it's all well and good, but none of this is going to happen. I don't deserve this. What am I thinking? This is a waste of my time. I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of hungry. Like, your false self is a person that consistently pulls you away from that true self. But the thing is, if you want that thing, someone else wants that thing too. And if you want something, someone else has already done it. And if they can do it, why the hell couldn't you? Really? What's different between us? We're all bones. We're all molecules. We all, shit and eat the same way. What makes one person worthy to have something that you're not? So I'm giving you permission to achieve every single thing on that page because that's who you are. Those things that you've written down, that's not just what you want. That's who you are. And if you've written down, I want to be successful, you are already successful. You just need to actually own it. You're already there. Surprise! And that's the end of our program. No, jokes. But you already are all those things. So what I want you to do now is we're going to actually make it really clear. So you know what you want. You've figured out what you don't have. You've learned all about trust. You've owned that you are yourself. You are your business. Now, let's make it a little bit real. So what I want you to think about next is, who do you respect and admire? And you can write this down. Who are the people, the one person, who's the first person that comes to you when I say, who do you respect and admire? Write them down. It could be someone in your life, could be someone in your family, it could be someone you work with, it could be someone you stalk online, it could be someone whatever. Who do you respect and admire? Now, why do you respect and admire them? What is it about them that just inspires the shit out of you? What is it about them that makes you want to flick through all their photos? What is it about them that makes you want to consistently watch their life, get closer to them, want to be like them? What is it? Write it down. What is it about that person? Now, those things that you've written about that person is things that you have in you already. You have it there, but you're not owning it. So if you've said, I respect and admire this person because they're confident and they're strong and they're ambitious and they're a badass, you are those things. Because we cannot see in other people things we don't possess in ourselves. All you need to do now is turn up the volume. It's already there. Own it. Own it. Because if they're in your life, remember, only people attract people. So if you've attracted them into your life, you are like them. You already have it in you. Isn't it amazing how much awesome shit you've had in you? You had no idea about it. Seriously. Seriously. So now let's move on to the next thing. Now we know that we already have that all in us, which is really great. We know who we're attracting. That's also great. Now let's look at turning up your volume. So what I want you to do, because usually I ask people, what are you good at? let's make a business about you. And they go, I don't know what I do with my life. And I say, that's great. That's awesome. Interesting. That's fine. Let's just work through that. So what is it you do in your spare time? Because ultimately any successful business person uses what you do, what you're already good at, and you amplify your strengths. So being who you are, running a successful business is not about working in your weaknesses. It's actually about working in your strengths. But if I were to say, what are your strengths? You'll go, I don't know. I don't have any. But if I say, what do you do in your spare time? Let's figure that out. So again, writing exercise. I want you to write down what it is you do in your spare time. What does your life look like when you have time? What is it that you find yourself doing a lot of? What do you find people coming to you for? Do you always answer questions about relationships? Do people come to you because you have a great sock collection? Like, what do people come to you for, and what are you good at? So these 3 questions, I want you to take the time to write down now. What do you do in your spare time? So when you're free with time, what is it that you do? What do people come to you for? And what are you good at? And you might not want to own that you're awesome at baking the bomb brownies, but write it down just for the exercise. What is it you're good at? So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to write these 3 things down. Go. You have just over 2 minutes. If you're struggling with what you're good at, just think of the things that you do all the time. Because naturally we do the things that we're good at. We just don't realize it. So things that people come to you and ask for, as well as things that you're good at, signs of what you're good at. So if people are constantly asking your advice for something, you're good at that thing. If people are constantly asking you more about a particular thing, you're good at that. Things that in your heart you know you're good at, but you don't really want to say you're good at. For example, I'm great at connecting with people and having people open up to me and trust me. But if I said that to somebody else, they'd be like, ugh, you can't say that. Just did. So figure out what it is that you deep down know you're good at. And think about things that you were good at, if not now, when you were younger, when you were a child, because when you're a child, you're more authentically you, and those traits you actually keep in you as you grow up. I call it silent ta-da. So the things that you used to be good at and you used to be able to stand up and go ta-da, and people would clap at once upon a time. And then as you get older, they stop clapping. it doesn't mean you're not good at it anymore. It just means that you have shit people around you who are not acknowledging what you're good at. So if you can't think of what you're good at now, think about what you used to be good at when you were a child. It could be anything. It could be trivial. It could be I'm good at making people feel good when they're upset. It could be I'm good at running my house on time. It could be I get everywhere on time. It could be I'm really good at cooking dinner for my friends. I'm really good at making people feel loved. It could be I'm really great at creating websites. It could be I'm really amazing at actually scheduling and organizing stuff. I'm really great at connecting people and having people come together. I'm really great at organizing travel. I'm really great at inspiring others. I'm really great at being consistent. All these things are things that you're good at. Ten seconds. And you can go back and add to this because I know it's hard being in like 5 minutes. Oh my God, I need to say something. I'm good at stuff. I'll give you time to go back later. All right, and we're done. Have a look at that list. What do you do in your spare time? What do people come to you for? And what are you good at? Are there any consistencies? Is there anything that's really sort of matching up that you might not have realized? Are you spending a lot of time counseling people? Are you spending a lot of time making stuff happen? Are you spending a lot of time wishing you were doing more stuff on that list? Does that list line up with all the stuff that you said you wanted? Because ultimately, these two need to go together. When you start doing more of what you want to do in your spare time, more of what people come to you for, and more of what you're good at, that's going to tap into the authentic you. And when you can figure out these things, what our next step is to figure out how to use that, to brand that, to market that, to make you money and to help grow your business. And it's so funny. So many people go, well, how is being good at dinner parties going to help me grow my business? I'm like, who isn't going to come to your business meeting over dinner? Hello. I suck at cooking. You will not find food at any of my events because it's just not what I do. There'll be a ton of wine. Oh, yeah. But I'm not going to cook for people because it's not my skill. So in turn, I draw people to me who are also not going to be great cooks, but they enjoy the ambience of a wine, whatever, a wine session. Whereas if you find yourself, I'm really great and I find a lot of my time organizing like kids events, then you're going to be able to weave that into your business. You're going to be able to attract other people who really enjoy being at kids events, who support you for who you are. And when you're in your element, you're going to find you have so much energy and you have so much passion because you're happy doing whatever it is that you're doing, and that's going to draw people in. So have a look at those things that you've written down and think, how can I use this? How can I do more of this in my business? Whatever you're doing, there's going to be a core structure to your business, and there's so much room to move. Seriously, so much room to move. So your next job, what we're going to work through in the next few weeks, is how to figure out how to use who you are to then build that into your brand. So my last question before we have to finish is, what do you need to change right now? So after doing everything we've done today, after learning why it's important to be authentic in you, after looking at who we're mirroring and who's in our life, after going, yeah, I'm going to be freaking unapologetic, after figuring out what you want and claiming that and owning that and declaring that, after figuring out what the common factor is in all of that, after figuring out what you really want, not what someone else says you want, after figuring out who you respect and admire and why, and claiming that you have that in you already, after figuring out what people are coming to you for and what you're really good at that you haven't realized, what do you need to change? What needs to change right now? What are you not owning? Are you being authentically you? Because if you are, good, keep doing it. If you're not, if you've gone, oh shit, I'm actually not doing any of the stuff that I love, and I'm actually pretending that I'm like this kind of person when really I know I'm freaking awesome, obviously, because I've written it down. Like, what is it that you need to change? And this is going to be something you're probably going to have to sleep on for a little bit, and it's probably going to mull over for the next few days, and just start to notice the things that happen in your life. Start to notice the little signs. Start to notice what you're drawn towards. Start to notice what people are saying to you, because people are telling you all the time what you're good at because they need you because they're not good at that thing. That's why they're asking you. But often we don't listen. So start to listen and start to figure out what you need to change right now to be more of who you are, because it's already there. So this is not about like sitting on here for an hour every week and just getting like fuck all out of it. This is about stuff actually happening in your life. Have you learned anything from this? Has anything struck you? What is your biggest takeaway? You guys have plenty of stuff to go back, look over your notes, and I'll see you again next week. So I hope you guys have an amazing evening or an amazing day, and thank you for being on. I love you. I'm excited for us to become this little family and to learn together. So without further ado, have an amazing day, dolls, and I'll see you soon. Bye.